are live. Here we go.
Lies and slander, sir.
I mean, okay, I can just turn the
Live. I
stream off.
see
Alright
us
guys,
right
stream's
now.
over. Az doesn't want us to be live. It's not happening tonight.
Alright, I'll
Sorry,
see you
guys.
later.
Yep, see you next week.
Bye.
I'm going to
Bye! Alright, it's good to see everybody. Hello. Good evening. Time for a little bit of Tales of the Outer Rim. TOTOR for friends and family, of course. And
Toto
yeah.
was my father.
I just want we gave it a different name.
Mm-hmm. So yes, here we are. So, are y'all ready to rock?
Yep.
Nice.
Always.
I see Rose is ready to rock. I see everybody else is ready to rock. I like it. Good. So yeah, here we go.
We just killed a giant walking catfish.
I was about to say exactly. Last episode, you guys escaped a space station, had a heated
Lost our
dogfight,
ship.
decided to evacuate the ship, which means you lost the ship. Yep. Made it to the planet, survived the night, survived crossing a river the size of of a small ocean, I guess. I don't know. And made it across. And when you finally made it across that very large river, you hit the ground and realized that fish had legs and decided, nah, you know what, I'm coming after you anyway, and we're doing this on dry land, which is exactly what ended up happening. You guys fought a big catfish on land.
And I burned it to heck.
And Orta had a fun little moment cutting his way out of the stomach, so that was interesting.
Yep.
Hopefully,
I got us some fillets.
Yep.
Hopefully, my dice will be a little bit more agreeable today.
Oh yeah, dice. I should get that dish ready.
What, guys?
Oh, there they
I
are.
was not very helpful last week at all.
Right. When dice betray you consistently.
it's like you're rolling different die and they're all like, no, fuck you.
Yeah, we're good.
Zoro and I had a little talk. I am not allowed to roll this big guy anymore because every time I do, one, it sounds like I'm throwing a basketball in my dice tray, but two, it has a propensity for rolling nat 20s back to back. So as a DM, I'm not allowed specifically to use those.
No, those are the ones you want to use. Like, my dice hate players.
Yep.
When I'm DMing, my dice do everything in their power to kill my players.
Well, that's what I'm saying, and the problem is, like, that one specifically, I mean, it killed two of Tab's characters already. I'm not allowed to use it.
I'm just saying, it's not that his dice hates players, it's I hate me.
Yeah.
Specifically.
I mean,
they are violent towards me.
They came one turn away from killing Orta last session.
I fully admit that, Rosa. Yes,
And you know what?
when I play, my dice hate players, especially me.
Yeah.
When I DM, it's like, no, they're just like, oh, look, a player. Muhaha, let's drop some crits on their ass.
We
Oh
all
look, a
have
player.
been
Rocks
there.
fall. They die.
We've all been there, yeah. DM dice are always on steroids for some reason. I have no idea why. That being said, yes, you guys had made it, fought a fish, and basically settled yourselves on the other bank of that large, very large river. About maybe half a day's walk from that from that water purification plant where you guys are supposed to figure out what's going on here with this whole drugging of the Vratix species and turning them into back to making slaves, right?
Yep.
And
I vaguely recall these things.
I think that's where we were at.
I'm very concerned with the fact that they're very okay with the fact that even if an entire generation or two has to die, they're okay with it. Like,
So long as the mother mind survives.
I'm like, ooh, I guess, okay, you know, different strokes for different folks, you know.
Yeah. It's a little
I-
monkey for sure.
Definitely more of an insectoid mentality, you know?
Yeah, Kodav is very much hoping there's a way to not doom an entire generation of the people, these beings, to death because of this drug thing.
Well, that's again, I think, something you guys are gonna have to figure out in that giant, building that you see. Speaking of, now that you guys are a little bit closer to that building, can I ask everybody to give me a quick little check here? Let's see, where is it? I would need a... I will allow technology here. I will allow insight. And I would allow, even to a certain degree, nature checks. Actually, lore checks. There we go. Or nature. Any of those four.
I got a
Bonus.
15 and a dice that's going in jail immediately.
Dirty 20.
When it starts with the nat one.
It wasn't a nat 1. I don't want to deal with that right now.
Mm.
I'm setting the boundaries real clearly right now.
Right off the bat.
With my dice.
Jeez.
What were the 4 options again? I'm sorry. Insight, nature, lore, or tech?
That sounds right,
Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
And I got a dirty 20.
Alrighty, let's see. Insight. This is my best option.
I got a 19, and I'm going insight as well.
That's not bad. That's a 22. I'll take that.
Okay, so for those of you who have done insight, you look at this building and it looks oddly familiar, almost like there's something about it anyway that seems, how do I say it, familiar as far as the architecture goes. And Kodav, unfortunately, you won't be really aware of this, Only either, but Mibble and Orta, you both recognize the architecture of this building. It looks a lot like the building you guys bumped into on Kashyyyk. At least the
Building
parts
on
of the building.
Kashyyyk?
At
What?
least, as far as the parts of the building you could see, stuck under that elder tree.
Oh God, that's the building where the giant monster was in, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the
I wonder how
building
the
where I
baby version-
died.
I wonder how the
Oh.
baby's
Boy.
doing.
Oh, out of character. I really hope there's not one of those
Oh,
things in
I
here.
do remember that I did try to search for the that old I don't know what it's called, but after like the monster destroyed the entrance, I was looking for like the little projector person thing that we were talking to in order to get inside that building.
Yes, you're talking about the hologram
Yes,
on the security system. Yes.
I do believe I went looking for that to take it with me.
Correct. I think so too, if memory serves. You did pull a piece of tech from the building. Yeah. So yes, you would definitely recognize this as being similar, again, in architecture. And getting closer, you realize the sheer size of this building that was probably being a little, I guess, bamboozling from a distance. But as you get closer, it does seem that this is really, really, really big of a building. And I mean, considering the plants you guys have the crops you guys have been wading through, this entire time are the size of small trees, you kind of realize, yeah, the building's to scale with the crops. But that being said, right, as you approach, you do realize the building is guarded, and the front door has two big green... How would I call it? Very muscular, fat, and borderline pig-faced creatures, if you want to call it that. Standing on both sides of the door. And the door itself, you realize, does not fit with the architecture of the rest of the building. It's almost like they tore out the door and just put a modern one in, if that makes sense. Or at least something they can have control over.
Mm.
But yes, there's indeed a pair of Gamorrean guards.
And it's the same kind of building as from Wookiee Town.
Correct, from Kashyyyk.
Okay.
Or Kashyyyk, depending on how you decide to pronounce it.
Wookie Town? Won't you take me to Wookie Town? Sorry.
Only finds a fence. She won't remember this.
So,
I'm a creature of my generation. I can't help it.
the real question now, though, is considering you have a building that is under guard in front of you, what do you guys decide to do?
We should at least tactically see if we can figure out what the shift is for the guards.
Or see if there's other ways in.
How well armed these guards looked?
Moderately armed in the sense that this planet is technically under lockdown right now, so they're definitely on alert, but they're not expecting anybody to actually come down and land here. You can see that time has made them somewhat inattentive to their surroundings, and so while they are wearing their full gear, they're not exactly on high alert, if that makes sense.
So we have a chance to get the drop on them. If we so choose.
If they make modifications to the door, they could make modifications to other places on the building, like put it in a vent system or something.
Right.
Like I said,
All valid options.
I would still like to see what their shift rotation is like.
Okay.
Just in case.
I think because at least if we know roughly how long their shifts are, and you know whether or not it's still going to be to replace, or we can at least watch for half a day to a day, get a rough idea of potentially how many guards are actually guarding this facility.
Okay.
I mean,
okay. So what I would do here in that case, I'm going to ask you all two things. First of all, you're going to roll me a stealth check to see if you guys do manage to spy on them while staying out of sight. It's not going to be super difficult, as I said. They're not paying attention. But once that's done, what I'll do is you guys will effectively get the effect, if you do decide to look at these guys for a good 8 hours, you'll get the effects of a long rest. Provided you guys rotate through shifts and you're able to sleep somewhat.
Right. Okay.
From also
Sure.
time to time, Mibble's gonna look at the outside of the building, see if he sees any different structure, construction, see if there's maybe vents or something another way in if we have to use that way.
Okay.
Hey.
So
I'm going to cast guidance on myself for the stealth.
okay.
I'm gonna cast guidance on myself for the stealth too.
I got a 18 for stealth.
Super.
Just
14.
double-checking I'm just double checking if my armor instigates disadvantage on stealth rolls, but I don't think it does.
I have rolled 18 for stealth.
Okay.
Okay, no, I don't get any disadvantage on stealth rolls.
Okay, good. Okay, so
Let's roll these saves.
Mibble, give me an investigation roll, please, to go and check out the building.
Investigation. I think I'm proficient in that. And that's gonna be another 18.
So, while staying out of sight, you take, a good chunk of the day to circle this building, right? And you notice two other potential entrances. There's a landing pad on the roof that, a couple of transports throughout the day use to either bring in supplies or take away cargo. And on the other side of the building, you do notice a row of vents, as you did surmise earlier. Only problem is, they're probably a good 15, 16 feet off the ground.
15, 16 feet.
Yep.
That's it? Just kidding.
From what you can tell, anyway.
Hey, I got jet jump. I could get up there no problem.
Mm-hmm.
Worst comes to worst, I could just sort of toss Mibble up with the force.
Plenty of
And
options.
the landing pad on the roof, right?
Correct.
Also, I got a 12 on my stealth roll, just letting you know.
But that roof is quite high, Mibble, and other than you, who's equipped with a jetpack, there's very low chances of everybody making it to that roof. Sorry, you were saying, Orta?
I had 12 on my stealth.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
Okay.
Kodav has an explorer's pack, so I think there's rope and ground.
Yeah, I think I got an explorer's pack too.
So
No, I got Dungeoneers.
Okay. Well,
Which does have a grappling hook and rope.
so while the three of you do manage to go mostly unnoticed, Orta,
Yeah.
I was really hoping it was a group check.
let me put it to you this way. I don't know if your head catches the glare from the sun or if something happens or another, but you see the two Gamorrean guards pointing in your general direction, and one of them stays by the door, while the other one pulls a massive battle axe from its strap that it's got strapped around its chest here, and starts walking in your direction.
Looks like I'm gonna have a battle axe collection.
I'm telepathically gonna. If anybody's within range of me, I will telepathically call to them and let them know. One is approaching me. Go ahead and stay hidden. I'll be fine. And I'm basically just gonna. So he semi-spotted me. He's heading in my direction.
Yep.
Trying to lure him away and then take care of him.
Basically, he's probably got comms, which makes things harder.
Let me help. Let me solo him.
If anybody wants to help, I'll gladly accept the help. I don't think I would rightly need it, however.
No, I would like to fight him alone, please.
when Mibble says
Oh, yeah.
when Mibble and in order to go, like, he might have comms, I want to actively like search and see if I can spot like some sort of communication device on this person.
Okay. Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Investigation, can't use perception.
I mean, you're kind of looking for something specific, but you know what? Sure, go perception. Why not? Go nuts.
That's not that great. That's 16.
You do notice both this one and the one that stayed by the door and is keeping an eye on his friend here. Both have a comm device, which makes sense when you think about it.
How far away are they?
Well, the door itself is probably about maybe 150 feet away from the clearing where you guys are. The one that's currently walking is probably about halfway there. So,
Is
75
there a
feet.
spot that I could lay in wait as he approaches Orta to see if I could basically want to lay an ambush in case things go south when he's talking to Orta to try and see if I can get a drop on him and get him before he manages to call out to his team. I'm looking for an ambush spot.
Yeah, give me a survival check.
Nice.
Dyer's not absolutely hate me. Get in the tray. Survival 22.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? There's not much other than these crops. So if you really want to get the drop on someone here, you'll probably end up doing it by literally getting the drop on them.
Very well.
Climbing up.
Yeah.
I like that. I like my chances there.
Okay.
Can I get
Well, I
closer
guess-
to the one by the door? She's trying to get ambushed. It's walking.
Yes, but it is a big open clearing, so there's not much cover for you to approach.
Okay.
You can do it if
I
you
was
want to, but your stealth check's gonna have to be pretty damn high.
No, I'm not. I'm not a stealthy person. I was hoping the wheat was in abundance in front of the structure.
No, it is up to that, like I said, 150 feet.
You know what?
Basically, clearance around the building, if you will.
Now that I think about it, if I'm going to have to literally get the drop on him, hoping there's a spot that I could drop down where the stock is in between him and his buddy. But if he passes under me, I'm just going to drop. I'm not going to wait for him to talk to Orda.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Orda.
You're fine. Orda, like, basically Orda is gonna back up a bit, sort of noticing you setting up an ambush. Basically so that he has to come in deeper to find me.
Okay.
And once he passes under, if I feel like it's not going to be super obvious, I'm just dropping on him. Bringing an axe down on top.
I have to make one roll here
Yep.
as they approach the clearing's edge. You see the Gamorrean approach the edge of the forest. Its heavy frame thumping through the overgrowth of grass, and he kind of does the whole, like, leaning forward and just kind of scanning left to right, kind of looking a little above and around, like he's trying to see what caught his attention, if anything, right? And with a grunt and a squeal, he kind of shrugs before turning around and starting to walk back towards the building.
That one?
Guess who rolled in that one? So, yeah, you failed when it came to being stealthier than his passive perception, but when came the time for him to actually investigate, he rolled in that one.
Classic.
The classic blunder. As he does, walk back towards the door, and as he does so, you do see the door open as two more Gamorreans come out. They kind of squeal at each other a little bit, grunt, two of them headbutt each other, and then two of them, the two that were previously out, go back in the building, and the doors shut behind them.
Mm.
Alright, so that was just a shift change.
Correct. And
Well-
you'll notice that probably every 4 hours or so, they do have a shift change for fresh guards. All of which end up being Gamorrean.
See.
Are they discernible from one another?
Yes, not necessarily due to their actual features, but due to some of the trinkets and battle trophies they have hanging off of their belts and whatnot. Their weapons are not all exactly the same, so you can still tell them apart. But I mean, if you've seen Gamorreans, you know they're not exactly super duper physically different from one another.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to make sure, we just weren't dealing with like a bunch of very similarly looking creatures all wearing this.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, it's like. It's
No,
like-
they do seem to be individuals.
Okay.
So, do we want to avoid the guards? and try and get to the roof or the vents that Mibble saw? Or do we want to try and ambush them before the shift change?
That's a good
I
question.
mean, we could do both.
I would really rather not split our forces. We don't know how many of the Gamorreans are in this building.
I also don't know how many traps they lay. I mean, if I had an air venting system, there'd be traps and sensors and all kinds of things in them,
I mean,
especially the size of those.
if you're not really expecting resistance, I mean, I can't see them having that many traps. There's definitely some probably intrusion detection devices, but um the what are the insectoid races again called?
Politics.
The Vatics are pretty docile, so I can't see them laying traps for some sort of incursion. They're all pretty much drug addled.
Mm.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to prepare for a trap you're more than likely never going to see.
At the same time, this this water facility seems extremely important to what they're doing here.
Oh, I'm not, I'm not saying anything that that's not the case. I just don't think that they're expecting the Vatics to be any sort of opposition. Um, Worst
Oh,
case is, unknown numbers and what sort of defenses they have in case, there's some sort of incursion from an outside force, i.e., us.
right.
Which is why I think we have a better opportunity if we can sneak into the vents and avoid at least the outside guards and get into the facility. Nibble seems very proficient with electronics. I'm pretty sure Nibble can get us, past any of the outer defenses as long, you know, access to a control panel is available.
Yeah, I can see what I can do.
I mean, my biggest concern is that we get stuck in one of those vents and something happens, they realize we're there, and there's not enough room to defend ourselves. I'd much rather just walk in the front door and deal with what comes our way. Personal opinion, though.
Or to Nibble opinions.
Yeah, I'll go for the vents. If there's any fighting, you guys got it.
I would prefer not to lean into violence if it's not necessary, if possible.
How far does your telepathy extend?
Around 30 feet. Not very far at all, but far enough to help in tight quarters.
Mm, Do we have any what's the range on our communication devices, Mibble?
Uh, what what would be the range?
Um, they're usually pretty good. Comlinks are almost like cell phones, right? So they're usually pretty good about getting you range just about anywhere on the planet, provided uh, there is no active jamming
Interference.
of your comm signals.
Mm,
So pretty good.
Okay.
well, How comfortable are you, Mibble, with checking out the vent situation and letting us know whether or not the access is um, easy for us to use or not.
Hey, I could check. I mean, I could take a quick look. Be the smaller of everybody else.
Now, would Mibble have to approach via the water, or what's the best way to get Mibble to the
the
vent
vents.
side of the building?
So, sorry, what are you asking me for the building?
What can we get Mibble to the vent side of the building undetected? Like, is
I mean, yeah,
there
there's no guards or anything on the backside of the building, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, so basically we can approach the vent side from like the coast and not really be seen, because
Correct.
I don't know how the building's laid out
Yeah,
coastline.
it
So,
looks like a giant, oddly shaped pyramid, if that gives you a bit of an idea.
right.
It seems to be made of stone, very much like the wall that you saw, like I said, in the on Kashyyyk and Kashyyyk. And well, I mean, yeah, you weren't there, so yeah, but yeah, it's basically a giant. Think if you want like a mental image, take the Coruscant Jedi Temple and imagine this is its little brother.
Okay. All right, Mibble, it's up to you. You wanna see if you can potentially get into the vents and get access to a control panel?
Sure. So,
Alright.
Mibble, I guess we're all going to go over towards the vents. Mibble will somehow get up there, either by
Well,
his jet
you
jump
have
or.
you have a grappling hook and a rope, so um I will use force propel, and um I will oh wait, no, I don't want to do that. I will use, because that causes damage. I don't want to damage.
Yes,
Um
do not hurt your support.
I will use force push
Mhm.
and basically push the grappling hook with rope attached to it up to the vent to secure it.
Okay. So yeah, give me here because I mean that's really force push usually requires a saving throw from the person you're pushing, but in this case, since there's none of that, give me your
How big is the vent anyway?
It's huge
Okay.
for a building this size. Like you could have Orta walking it standing and still have room. Um, and it does seem like the at least immediate exit of the vent is protected by nothing much more than a small like grate. Um,
To which Mibble does check for traps or an alarm or anything.
yep. I
Well,
mean,
I need to know. I need to know what roll to
yep.
get the grappling hook up there first.
So for the grappling hook, I'm gonna need you to give me a give me a spellcast bonus. So D20 plus your power modifier.
Okay. And that's not great. That's 15.
I mean, this is not the highest of entry points. Like I said, it's about 15, 16 feet high. So, effectively, when you do chuck it, it's enough for it to get there. As you've essentially successfully latched it, I guess you could say, on the ledge of that vent.
All right. I hold the rope for Mibble to climb up.
I also check the vent grate for any traps or anything, or any alarms.
Okay. Mibble, if you can, I mean, this won't be too much of an issue for you, but can you give me a quick little acrobatics here as you're climbing that rope?
And that is going to be a 14.
Okay. Yeah, it takes you a little while. It's not the most, I guess the easiest climb you've ever had, but you still make it up there fairly easily. And when you check through the grate, you kind of look for, like you said, alarm sensors or any of that stuff. There's nothing really there at that point that would raise an alarm or anything. It really just seems like they set these things up to prevent, critters or whatnot from getting in there.
So I sort of give everybody else the okay to come up.
I will hold the rope for other people.
I mean, you still have a grate, though, in the way.
I remove the grate.
Okay. And how do you go about doing that?
Well, since I grabbed my bags, I should have my tools with me. So.
Okay, so you just flat out take it apart. That works. Okay, awesome. Okay, so yeah, you make it into that vent. Orta, if you want to follow through, same thing with you, Onley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get the same thing? That acrobatics check real quick.
Acrobatics.
Ooh, acrobatics.
Alex.
Okay. I'm gonna give myself guidance on this.
I got a natural 20 for 26. Rope, what rope? Who needs a freaking rope? I'll just climb this thing. Just kidding.
11.
Okay. So, Only, you grew up on Kashyyyk. You're used to climbing trees. You're used to jumping. You're used to swinging on vines. I mean, this 15 feet for you is a gosh darn joke.
If I can, could I use force push or pull to sort of keep myself going up if I start to fall?
We'll see in a minute if you don't mind. I'll get to it.
It's not that much of a fall.
Yeah.
Not that much of a fall, but falling is still making noise.
But yeah, on the you don't even, like you said, what rope. You just take a running start towards the building and do the whole like 1-2 step jump and just grab the edge there of the vent and just flip yourself over. As far as Orta, how do I put this? You kind of make it halfway up, and then I don't know if you're getting tired or you just, the encounter with the fish has left some of that, like, slimy residue over your hands a little bit or something. But you kind of slide back down the rope a little bit.
Okay.
Kind of like bumping a little bit into Az. You guys don't really get hurt or anything, but it's like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Type moment.
I see how it is. I mean, I'm gonna keep trying to climb up. That's what we're doing, so.
Yep.
So another athletics roll, or
Yes, please.
or acrobatics?
Acrobatics,
I guess
please.
you said.
Yeah, because it is a rope. You're kind of doing the whole like just.
I mean,
Once
athletics,
again.
you want to like just muscle your way up the rope. Rope climb.
Oh, now I get the nat 20. Cool.
Still on
Very
acrobatics.
unenthused about these. Yes, it is. So at 20 with a 5 on the guidance, so 27.
So,
Like, saw On Lee do it, so you got embarrassed. Now you had to prove yourself.
so yeah, exactly.
Basically, I guess.
Seeing what On Lee did, you kind of go, "Oh yeah, I'm a Jedi. Why the hell am I wasting my time trying to climb a rope like this? This is not how we do things." As you legitimately do the same thing, kind of run up to the wall and then just kind of like force jump your way up to the edge of the vent. You know, not even really needing to flip yourself over. You kind of just do the whole force jump and just land on the edge of the vent.
Superhero land.
I'm actually going to use force sleep and not climb the rope.
Literally, the rope was only there for Mibble in the end.
Like, I was holding it for whoever wanted to climb, but, you
Mhm.
know, once everyone was done, I'm like, you know, I'm not climbing a rope.
Yep.
Do we really climb ropes around here? What the heck?
Yeah, that's a 21.
There you go.
Apparently
Mabel could have
not.
jetpacked up there technically, you know. But yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
you force sleep your way right up there, no problem.
I'm saving
Yeah.
my points for other things.
Oh, force sleep's a cantrip, so
Yep.
no points.
But you do make it up there, and so as a result, yes, the entire party of 4 heroes have made it to the edge of that vent.
Wunderbar.
Still checking for any other traps or sensors or anything else that may be ahead inside the vent.
As you guys progress.
Letting Mibble take the lead on the whole detecting of electronic nonsense.
Of course. As you guys walk up there, right, or walk in there, you kind of realize this is probably like Mibble. You'll realize that there's probably not a huge point to checking for these electronics and whatnot. This vent hasn't been maintained in a while. And this is a humid agricultural planet, so there's moss growing on the edges of the metal vent. You can smell the smell of again plant rot, you know, as it's been kind of sitting there molding away for a while.
Sort of holds its nose as he walks.
You hear a squeaking, a repetitive squeaking as you know, you hear the classic whoosh, whoosh, whoosh of what you can only assume somewhere around the corner is is the good old the classic, you know, fan blades that one would encounter in such a vent. But aside from that, really, there's not much sign of I'd like to say intelligent life here, in the sense of there's no sensors, electronics, or other fancy schmancy tech. It's literally just an air vent.
Alright. If we find any vents that look downwards, sort of like see what rooms they are in.
It doesn't really seem like there are any direct vent access to this. This feels more like the main, I guess what you would call the main vent. You know, that kind of gets it from all the other vents and drags everything out. You do see at regular interval that there's tunnels, or tunnels, should I say, sub-vents, smaller vents popping in multiple directions from the vent that you guys are currently in. They're about half the size of the vent that you're currently navigating, so you'd probably have to like bend, you know, a little bit not to
Bibble wouldn't
bump
have
your
to.
head. No, you wouldn't. The rest of the party would have to kind of bend over not to bump your head at the top here of the vents. But you do have, like I said, just regular vents going off to each of your sides.
So guys, looks like we got choices.
Choices indeed.
As you know, an airplane stewardess would go, your vents are located here, here, and here. So, out of the 8 vents, you got 4 on each side. Which one are you guys gonna go down?
So Bibble hasn't really come across any type of electronic control panels or something like that. I'm gonna ask Orta, basically, you know, I'm not sure how adept your telepathy is, but can you sense, to some degree, the layout of this particular tunnel structure?
I can certainly try, though my...
Wasn't the other building on Cachette force sensitive?
Was it?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. What building did you guys go to?
Like, you guys could use the force to, like, sort of pinpoint places within the building.
Good memory.
Yes, as Mibble has just reminded me.
Yeah, I don't know what building you guys are talking about. And there's
So
some buildings
you've
like
been
that.
in a
Check.
facility like this before?
Only.
Yeah, back
Over
on
on
Kashyyyk.
yes, on Kashyyyk.
Hmm.
Though it was in a significantly worse state of disrepair.
Well, it was abandoned, pretty much.
Yes, which lent itself to being in more disrepair.
So we just
So
concentrate and let the force reveal itself?
That might be a good start.
seems that way.
Definitely.
And then I'll start focusing
Just running
on.
around through random vents and not knowing where we're going.
I mean,
Yeah.
So what? Well, when Archer is saying, when he's describing the previous structure, like what would I need to do? Because I don't have any like meditation spells or force powers, so I'm not sure what
No,
I can do.
this is just purely again a spellcasting save here. Well, not save, but check.
Yeah.
You don't need an actual power to meditate here or any of that stuff. It's not like it's not for
People
combat
wouldn't know what
advantages. It's
your
just
force things are. He just says, weren't you able to connect with the building the last time you were in one of these type of buildings?
So I'd focus
Yeah.
in on like the water control, or like the water wherever they like, I guess like filter water in this place.
I'm trying to basically see if I can get a layout in 16 plus 7, so that is 23.
okay. So there's a few things going on here that you guys are able to glean from your investigation.
What happened?
What do you mean?
Oh,
This is the only dice that's worked for me. That's the one I'm rolling with tonight. You would never betray me, right? Except you're the dice that also betrays me the most. But tonight you've been nice.
I've given that job to other people tonight.
I'm gonna mail you a hammer so you can threaten your dice.
You know, when you went I thought my connection died again, and I was like, oh no, please not tonight. It's been a long week.
Well, now that you said it,
Jinx.
Please don't. So, here's the deal. You guys are able to get a few insights on the building. It's not much, as you do realize that whatever again engram the Rakatas had left into the building before it was repurposed, from the time of the Infinite Empire, have not exactly been maintained, and it's not very stable. If anything, the one you guys saw in Kashyyyk, while the building was more damaged, the if you want to call it the AI of the building, was in a significantly better state. This one, not so much, but you're able to glean a few things from it, as I said. Higher up in the building is where they do, like you saw and were able to infer from the ship's landing, is where they basically package and export the Bacta, right? The grain and the Bacta. Funny enough, when you ask about the water purification functions of the building, the ping that you get inside your head seems to be leading down, which is weird since, you're in the vents on the ground floor.
you have to go deeper.
I'm gonna refrain from answering that.
How about
Well
the
played,
layout of the building thus far with I forgot your
What-
character's name.
What about my attempt at trying to see an actual layout, not
So-
trying to see a specific room?
You're trying to see an actual layout, and what you get as an info is not so much a map it feels like a bunch of dots with lines that zigzag to those dots. So it's a little bit more like almost like Google Maps, but you don't get to see the actual layout of the town. You just see the line with turn left, turn right, and then your destination type deal.
Gotcha.
The problem is, where do you want to go? That seems to be the main query the building is having a hard time figuring out.
I'm gonna poke at the closest node to where we are to see what it is. I'm figuring it's like, some sort of HUD in my brain.
Kind of, almost. You try to poke at the node, and what you get as an answer is just, like, almost like a word overlaid, but it's written in Rakatan script.
Oh, that doesn't help. I don't know Rakatan.
None of us do.
Is there no, like, auto-translate?
No, unfortunately.
I asked, like, does anyone know Rakatan?
This stuff
Isn't
again.
that a cheese?
Rakatan. I was thinking the same thing, Rakatan. They're cheese people. It's the French in space.
No, not the French.
Not the French. Oh, we're perfect because we have lightsabers. Just give.
You can make a hell of a lot of toast real quick with that.
It's like in South Park. Oh no, the house. We give up.
Unfortunately, no. The last time we had to try to more or less talk with the thing, the hologram that was at the door, and try to figure it out that way.
Oh.
But yeah, Gage, since you asked a more specific question, like I said, you did definitely get the idea of a ping leading you down.
Yep, we have to go deeper.
See if you get information to a control panel that can get me a better, like a blueprint of the building.
Okay. Can I see if I can see? Can I see if I can find pip that relates to an panel, not necessarily a. I mean, I don't think I would need to know Rakatan to to see.
It seems to perfectly understand the queries you're giving it. It's just the answers that are given are either pings with the location of what you've asked for or script that you're not able to read. But as you ask for an access point, right, there's a pause, almost like it's trying to figure out what you're asking for. Kind of like if you were asking, a modern computer for a floppy disk drive. But then, after a while, it pings you up to one of the uppermost floors where you can gather that, since there's deliveries and stuff being made there's probably a terminal.
Alright, I know you sense the water purification system downward, but looking at the map, I think we can get to an access panel if we go up. I'd rather have Mibble see what he can find with an access panel than just wandering, down and hit an unknown room.
Understandable.
All right, so which way?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow the the Google map to the up. It's like,
So it does exactly that. It leads you down a series of the smaller vents, which eventually go up at an incline, right? And following that network of vents, you eventually make it to what you assume is the top of the building. It probably takes you guys a good half hour, 40 minutes to navigate that and get all the way to the top, but you're closer to the top of the building at this point. And as you get to the edge not the edge, but more or less the end of the ping, at least for the part of the ping that would have you navigate vents. You're in front of another small grate, smaller grate, like I said, that seems to be there to ventilate a very large room, and by very large room, I mean you can see that this is a hangar.
Okay.
With the magnetic field, instead of being on the side like most hangars in Star Wars, it's on the roof. So they land directly through the magnetic field into the hangar.
Okay. How far is the drop onto the floor from where the grate is?
You guess it's probably another 15 feet. It seems to be the standard height for which the vents are running across the entire building. At least with regards to the level that that vent is currently on.
Can I tell if there's any personnel or guards?
You see, actually, there's quite a lot of people in this room. They're running back and forth, loading crates onto the ships, and unloading crates full of other stuff that you have no idea what it is from what you can tell from where you are. But they're unloading certain crates and then loading a bunch of other crates back on those same cargoes for them to take off.
Are they bug people that are doing this, or no?
Nope. Funny enough, these are not Ratics. It's mostly Gamorreans. There's a couple of humans that are ordering them around, but there are no Vratics involved.
I would like to use, let me see what the range is. So, should use sanitation. Okay, well, I guess that force potency when you...
If we were to climb down, are there any crates or anything that would be covering us for cover?
Right. So we don't have 5th level yet. I am going to cast Sense Force.
Okay.
At 3rd level, and I can detect basically the presence being used by people or things within 6.
Basically, detect magic.
Yeah, so at least if I want to see. Hopefully, there's nothing force sensitive within feet of where we currently.
Right. So you use Sense Force right at a 3rd level here, and you close your eyes. You take a deep breath. And within 60 feet of the grate where you are, you do not feel any force sensitives. However, give me a perception check real quick.
Okay, 17.
What you do see, though, is probably about like 250 feet further into the hangar. There is a dark hooded figure that is overseeing part of the transfer. And we all know dark hooded figures equals Sith.
Every time.
Automatically. It helps that there's a lightsaber, that you catch the glint of a lightsaber hanging off of their belt.
Yeah, I alert Orta. I'm like, and I like point out the dark, hooded figure. I'm like, I think we have a Sith overseeing deliveries.
That immediately makes things worse.
Yeah.
And all the more pressing to be taken care of.
Any indication of if there's stuff that is able to cover us if we were to climb down?
So, yes, about that, there are some boxes, there are crates, there's a bunch of gear and stuff lying all over the place. Well, not really all over the place, it's more like they've been kind of grouped together in different areas as they're awaiting transit. Almost like, one would pile boxes or whatnot at UPS based on what region they're about to be shipped off to. So there are piles of stuff you can probably hide behind. The only downside is, you don't exactly have a schedule. You don't know when they're going to switch piles or when a ship will pull in, and you'll have to basically maybe skedaddle to another pile real quick before you get caught. But that aside, you don't really notice much cover. I mean, there's two doors at the opposite end of the room where you'll occasionally see, like I said, people carrying more crates on trolleys or hover sleds, and bringing those into the room and unloading them. But there's not much here other than those piles of crates, as they do try to keep the floor relatively clean of any hazards, right?
Right.
Do we want to wait and see if the activity diminishes, or do we want to risk getting down there and at least getting to a panel that Mibble can access?
I
But we
don't
also
know
have
if
to
we would want
locate
to
the
risk the
panel.
panel anymore.
I'm sorry?
I wonder if we even want to locate the panel anymore. Is it worth the risk? We know how to get to the other room we need to get to. Whatever you guys did let us hear just fine.
Can we...
That is a lot of people to char on us if they see us.
Yeah. So, considering that we're in duck, can we... Is there a passage that leads to the adjacent...
Your mic is cutting out again,
Is-
Orzo.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
bad.
Ads going in and out for anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's...
I was worried it might have been my internet because I've been
Like,
having issues.
every other
recently.
word, every other word we're getting.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know if it's noise canceling you or if there's something going on.
We all thought it was us.
Oh, no. I keep forgetting if I'm not at my... Because it's
Cut out.
It cut out again?
Yeah, every
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
two,
right then.
two, 3 words you're having a mic issue.
My levels are... I look fine on my mixer. That's weird.
Discord doesn't like you?
I guess.
Seem to be
I was
lighting
just
up
saying-
fine now, though. I think if you talk closer to it, it picks you up. Maybe there's some noise cancellation or something going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
So can I see if we can use the ducts to gain access to an adjacent room?
Yeah, definitely. You
So I
realize
go-
since this is a closed building, most rooms will have some form of an air duct.
All
Right.
So I basically say, like, let's look if we can get into the adjacent room, see if there's a traffic, and maybe have an easier...
Okay. So you will notice that there is indeed the system does seem to guide you to a nearby room, which thankfully seems to be more of a supply closet of some kind. And I mean, I call it a supply closet, but it's the size of an average person's living room. It's pretty darn big. But yeah, you do make it to a room that seems to be seeing very little traffic right now. At the very least, there's nobody in the room at the moment.
All right.
Remove the grate.
Do we need tools to pull the grate?
That's Mibble's job.
That's why you got Mibble. Who
Yep.
needs tools when you have a Mibble?
Yeah, so
Bibble's
Mibble
basically
removes the grate.
a tool anyways. Wait.
Yep. So Mibble, you remove the grate, and again, same thing. It's a 15-foot drop down from the pipe, which for a strapping band of heroes such as yourselves wasn't much of a difficulty. At least not as much as climbing back up really does. As you all make it back to the ground here, you kind of take a look around yourselves, and you just see racks upon racks loaded with crates. and you realize, yeah, this supply quote unquote closet is being used right now, most probably as a temporary storage area for overflow of the currently produced Bacta.
Open up the crates to take a look.
Yeah, I was about to say things. No, can we crack one of these open and see if we can grab a few things?
I mean, you do open it up, and you notice, yeah, it's filled with Bacta.
Now, this is supposed to be the better healing stuff, right?
It is, yes. If you all remember that clear tube that Luke was floating in after he got injured, that was a Bacta tank.
Gotcha.
All right.
So these are in like little cases or such, sort of like med packs or something.
Correct. Unfortunately, they're not fully built med packs in the sense that, you know, they are lacking the application system that you would have in the med pack to apply the Bacta. But hey, put enough of it in a bucket and put an injured wound in that bucket, it'll still heal, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab some of it just in case.
Same. I want like samples.
Okay.
See if we can reverse engineer this in case something bad happens.
Okay.
So how much do I get?
Because they're in fairly big and I'll say cumbersome units, I'll say you can carry one, maybe two, based off of your strength modifiers.
Sounds like it's gonna be awkward to haul around. Is it gonna be awkward to haul around if we have to get into a fight?
Again, one or two of them could fit. You know, they're like cubes, probably about this
size.
size.
They can fit into our backpacks. Okay,
yeah, they fit in your backpacks. It's not massive things. You can't put like 20 of them in a backpack. They're not gonna fit.
Okay. All right, cool. So I'll do one of the.
I'll carry two just in case.
Very good.
Backpack.
As you guys are loading up on some of the Bacta, you hear the door at the opposite end of the room hiss.
Yeah.
As its pneumatics become active and it is about to open.
Back in the grate or hide?
Hide.
I.
Because climbing back up is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be harder.
Like if
That's
there's
right,
boxes,
it's a
there's boxes to hide behind box.
Yep,
Yeah.
there's plenty of boxes to hide behind, so yeah, give me a stealth check.
I'm giving myself guidance.
How badly I stick my butt out?
Always $1 million question.
14.
Okay.
24.
Do the backwards hide, you know, where you put your face behind the box.
Not great. 11 for me. That was a very bad roll.
Or 26 for me.
Nice.
The guidance helped a lot.
So, as this person walks in, right, with a hover trolley in tow, they kind of look around the room, furrow their brow, and they say, "Hey, you two, you can just come out now. I don't know what you're doing hiding back there, but come on out."
Is he at the door?
He took a few steps in with the trolley in tow. The door does his close behind them.
Okay.
Does he indicate? Can we tell which one of us he's indicating towards?
No, he's looking in your general direction, but I mean, if you give me a quick little perception check, I can give you guys a hint.
Perception is a 19.
Yeah, I'll do a perception as well. Plus 6, that is 26.
So, you can tell that he means Only and Kodav. If only because Kodav, your feet are sticking out from, like, behind one of the crates, or like part of one of your feet is sticking out from like the side of one of the crates or something. And yeah, same for Onley. I mean, some part of your body must have been sticking out.
Only's going to kind of clear her throat. Go. We would, but we're not exactly decent. In hopes that he'll give us a minute, and we can try and GTFO. Look, it's the obvious answer. He said you two.
I love it. I fucking love it. It's great. Ay.
Do you expect anything less from us?
Nope. I'm pleasantly surprised every time. I love
He said he
it.
doesn't know what we're doing back
I'm
there.
over here.
Must be a
I'm over
constable.
here looking at like what force powers I can use to de-escalate the situation. He's like,
Meanwhile, Onley, yeah, we're busy. Come back in 10 minutes.
it's like, yeah, we're kind of not decent.
All right. Onley, give me that deception check. Make it with advantage.
Awesome.
If this guy steps
Was
further
not the answer
in,
the guy was expecting.
Oh, yeah.
if this guy steps further in, actually, am I able to see if he has any communication
Deception?
devices on him?
Not without sticking your head out or giving another stealth check.
That's a 19 for my deception.
Okay.
Okay. For a stealth check, I got a 19. I guess investigation to see if he has any sort of comms, use anything, right?
You can see that, like, you know, he might have one at his belt or something, but it's not like the
22 for
guards.
the investigation.
Yeah, but it's not like the guards who have it like mounted on their heads or anything. So this is a little bit more of a, you'd have more reaction time to do something if you chose to do something. Fortunately, after Onley said what Onley said, they kind of like hesitate for a minute and just shake their head and say, you know what, I'm due for a frickin' break. I'm gonna have a death stick. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
Don't tell the boss. You know how they get.
You don't tell them I'm having a death stick. I won't tell them you guys are doing whatever you guys are doing, playing the two-headed Rancor and behind the crate.
Got yourself a deal.
Ugh, gross. And he just walks out. You hear the doors hiss behind him. You've gotten yourselves 10 minutes. And Kodav's got himself an aneurysm, but that's okay.
I'm gonna pat Kodam on the shoulder and go, sorry.
It's okay. One episode we choke on salad. The other episode we play the two-headed Rancor.
Yep.
Next show we get cancelled. I don't know how, but it's happening. All right.
That's a challenge.
No, can we not?
Please no.
Can we not?
It's about sending a message.
Well, I sent a message, right?
That is true. A message worth about 10 minutes.
Yep.
Oh.
Let's get moving. We're trying to help anyone who needs help back up into the vent to get back up into this vent. Let's go.
All right, give me those acrobatics. Let's go.
Oh.
I got a 14.
All right.
Onley was very actually, no, I have a point of inspiration from last time. I'm going to use that.
It rolls in that one, face plants into the wall. You hear banging on the door. Keep it quiet, you two!
I rolled in that one, used my inspiration, and rolled a 2 for a total of
Hey, you doubled it.
You don't have the wall to run up this time.
Oh, no.
I got a 16 on my acrobatics.
Okay.
I force sleep with a 23.
Okay.
I should really
I'm gonna have to try again.
Lord.
Yeah, so Onley again, exactly. You kind of like bump into the wall, and you know, you just hear like a discreet thumping on the door, like, "Yo, you're making too much noise. Stop it." Orta, you make it to the vent, no problem. Kodav, you force leap to the vent again, no problem on your end either. Mibble, you said you had rolled what to get there?
A 14.
The 14. You jump using generations of your species evolution, and unfortunately go to grab it and come just short as you kind of flop back down on your legs.
God dang it.
Omni's going to do a take 2 and get a natural 20 for a 26.
Okay, so this time around you make it no problem as you repeat your vent entry method from the initial the initial entry point. And Mibble, exactly, you jump and eventually make it no problem on your second try, as everybody's back into the vent. Thankfully, not piling crates or anything that would indicate to this person where you went. Mibble, I'm assuming you put the grate back.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Time to go. This guy's going to think he's absolutely hallucinating something, hopefully.
It's almost like,
I gotta stop hitting those death sticks, goddamn.
I mean, if you want to play him for me at this point, Horta, that's exactly it. They're gonna walk right back into the room, and you can hear them echoing through the vents as you just hear a, man, I gotta stop smoking, as he'll start loading boxes onto that hover sled.
All right. Try to find another room that may have a control panel, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'll try and do.
Okay. So you think about finding another room with an access point or access panel. And again, that same slight lag as it's almost like it's loading the mini-map, and you see a small, again, overlay in your field of vision, bringing you through, again, a series of ups and downs and vents. And when you look out the vent this time, you hear the murmur of voices as you see 3 or 4 people who are manning decidedly more modern-looking stations, as they appear to be talking in comm devices, and from the conversations you're able to make out these are instructions that they're giving to pilots, asking for clearance codes, giving them vectors for landing. They also are giving teams, like, hey, this ship needs to be loaded with this cargo, unload this ship and bring it to this particular storage unit. So long story short, you've kind of found the nerve center of the operation, if you want to call it that.
Air traffic control.
I want to try and memorize as many access controls as they're saying out loud.
They're not. It's more access codes that they're asking for. Of the ships to give them clearance to land. Those are transmitted usually, computer unit to computer unit. They're not verbally saying.
Okay, gotcha.
They're transmitted. I don't know if you remember Return of the Jedi. Oh, it's an older code, sir, but it checks out.
Yep. So how many are on controls? How many are potentially guards? I know you said there's 4 of them in here.
So the funny part about this, there doesn't seem to be any guards in the room with these guys, and all 4 of them are on consoles, on communication units.
You think we can jump them?
You disturb the communications, they're going to know something's up.
That is factual.
But we're not exactly sure how long the response time will be. I mean, if we could jump them and... Or actually, hold on, let me see.
As you say that, you'll feel a presence almost approaching fast. as the door hisses open and that same hooded figure you saw in the hangar just walks into the room.
Oh, that's not good.
They walk in to calmly to one of the operators, I guess, if you want to call it that. And you hear a voice, and that voice almost sounds like somebody's dragging, like, it's not the voice itself, but it gives you the creeps. It almost feels like somebody's dragging your skin on broken glass, if that makes any sense. Like, it makes your skin crawl to the nth degree here. And
Nipples for his bristles.
you just hear that voice ask of that operator, "How are our numbers looking?" And the operator just answers very quickly and almost nervously, "Excellent. Above predictions, actually. The well, production crews, if you want to call them that, sir, my lord. Yeah. It seems to be fine. We're way above production prerequisites." And you hear that individual take a deep huff. Almost like they're relishing or feeding off of the fear of this poor,
Individual.
grunt or command, com jockey. And as they take that deep breath, right, you see their head turn and a pair of yellow, vertically slit eyes peer from under that hood straight at the vent.
Oh, that's not good.
And time seems to stop for what stretches out like an eternity before the individual turns their head back to the control tower comm jockey, and with a satisfied huff turns around and exits the room, the door closing shut behind them.
I am gonna tell Orta, I think he knows we're here.
Then should we be getting out of here faster?
I think it's time for us not to be here. Can this thing just take us to the water area? Rather than go room to room looking for this link that's obviously about to get us caught?
Yeah. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go and ask for the water treatment room.
Hopefully you'll get clear instructions than I.
When you ask for access to the water treatment room, right? There's that same problem that Orta encountered where it says to go down, and it does bring you to a certain point. And as you guys take probably another 40 minutes back going the other way, right? Since going to the top took you about 40 minutes. You get through a series of vents leading you to a narrow hallway, at the end of which there is another door flanked by 2 Gamorrean guards. And funny enough, it doesn't seem like there's a direct vent access to the actual water filtration area.
How far away are the guards?
Probably about 60 feet from where you are. Like I said, the hallway's not exactly the longest or the most wide.
All right, we're gonna have to jump them. and then see if we can bar ourselves inside the room, disable the door, give us enough time to damage the whatever's making the drug.
I mean, I could probably take one of them out before.
I could also obscure the area with a smoke cloud.
That's might not be a bad idea, and then I could.
That works. I have tremor sense, so I would still be able to know what they are.
And doesn't Ani also have tremor sense?
I mean, we're the same species, yeah. That's a species thing.
Okay.
I mean,
And I can make
it's
it so
within
that
30
we don't
feet.
have to talk while we do all of this,
Mm-hmm.
so long as we stay together.
Alright,
Though I lack tremor sense, so it will be up to you two. More
so I guess prep your smoke bomb, and then when it goes off, we'll take one each and try and knock them out.
Well, I gotta do this quick, too, because once they see that smoke, they're gonna be on the comms.
I know.
And I'm gonna pull out my shiny new axe that's just, waiting to be thrown at someone.
Christened in the blood of your enemy, yes.
So I'm gonna locate the smoke cloud to start fairly close to where the two are.
Okay.
So it covers them first, obscuring their sight so we can come out, and the two that can sense them the best can go after them.
Okay. So, you guys... So, I'm assuming you're the one deploying the smoke, Nibble?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you chuck a smoke canister in there with the practiced accuracy of somebody who obviously is only and has only ever been used to do janitorial duties. Mibble, and before Mibble was the real operative all along. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so you do manage here to chuck that in there, no problem. And you see this black-gray smoke here just fill up the room. And as it does begin to fill up the room, you do hear the panicked squeal of those Gamorreans, no doubt getting on the comms and raising the alarm.
We're going to... as soon as that smoke's out, I'm dropping...
Yeah.
Throwing an axe.
Remove the grate and let them go.
Yeah, I'm gonna... Well, I figure you remove the grate to throw the...
Yeah,
Correct.
Preemptively, so that
I
we could
assumed
go
as
in.
much as well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm dropping it, and I'm moving forward, and as soon as I'm within 30 feet, I'm throwing an axe.
Yeah, I'm gonna...
I got two axes, one for each hand, and they're both... Oh.
I get a bonus action force imbuement.
Okay.
And then basically just, jump down. I can't force leap because it's also a just normally leap down and then just start charging towards
Each take one.
yeah, whichever one on Lee's is not on.
I'm going for the one for the right, so you go for the left.
Yep.
And I'm going to first throw Bloody Hell, my new axe. And actually roll a 19 on that, which for that axe is a crit.
It's a crit, yeah. The
Nice.
inaugural crit for Bloody Hell.
Yeah, and then the second axe that I chuck as the second part of my attack will be a 21 to hit.
Okay.
No. 23 to hit, sorry.
And Kodav, what was your roll, sorry?
For
your attack.
Oh, well, I can't get 60 feet. So I am going to. So I'm gonna 60 feet. That would be. What creature weighs? So weird. Or is it just bad grammar and they mean like if it's an object to 15 pounds and it's like, one or more creatures. Like
Little animals? Little
force propel. It's like it's just written very poor.
Let me read it. Give me a minute. No, so that's it. In the beginning, it is one or more creatures that weigh a combined total of 15 pounds. It is written properly. It's just, in the beginning, what they assume is that when you're using this at level 1, you use it to basically yeet objects and people. It's it's kind of like the baby version of when Vader has all these objects flying at Luke in Empire Strike Back. There's another power that actually does that in this game that you'll learn at higher level, but this is basically the baby version where they just do this and then swing an object in your face, basically.
Yeah, then I...
At higher levels, once it gets to heavy and like to a high enough number of weight, you could technically throw a person with it, is what they're saying.
Let's see. Yeah, so I'm just gonna close this since then. So I can get within 30 feet, but there's not much I can do at range. Because I'm not gonna use my range weapon ability.
Okay.
So my first axe that critted is going to get I rolled max damage on the die too, so it's going to get 32 points of kinetic damage. The second one I rolled low, so it's going to only get 7 points of kinetic damage.
39 damage total? Dang.
39 damage total as I'm rushing towards it.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, I forget all the time to add in. I'm assuming I had time to go into a rage before we did this, right?
I imagine that was kind of part of like the jump down and everything.
I mean, did you... Yeah, I
Rage is
guess
still
it's a bonus
Rage
action, so...
Yeah.
As I was asking, is Rage is still a bonus action?
So that's going to be +4 the crit and +2 the regular hit, so another 6 damage.
So 45?
Yeah,
6
45.
and 9, so total of 45 between the two.
Nice. Very nice. Okay.
And
So,
we're
you can't really
grabbing jacks out of the air and keep going.
Yeah,
Running, I'm still running them down.
you can't really see, what happens because of the sheer amount of smoke, but you do know, because you've used this weapon quite a bit, you can feel the axe bite deep into something, and the squeal of pain that you hear that follows immediately after is probably a good indicator that your axe did bite true here. Unfortunately, the lack of a heavy thump or slump onto the ground does indicate that this creature is most probably still alive.
As it's done with their go, I'm chasing them down and hitting them again.
Yeah, I'm done. There's nothing else I can do. I can only get to...
So as you both do that, right, the one guard that you did attack Only, you hear the whooshing sound of metal going through the air. Does a 14 hit you?
Nope.
So it does not hit, as you hear it whooshing through the air, but nothing does actually connect with you.
We're just going to basically keep running out. Because I have 40 feet of movement, so the first time I would have gotten close, the second time I can get up on him with my axes and just take a couple swings with bloody hell.
Yeah, the only thing is there are two of them in the room, right?
I'm going for the one I already damaged, because that's the one that was assigned
I
to.
know that. I'm just saying the other
Oh,
one
sorry,
also
I forgot.
does get a
Yeah.
response. This one is a 19.
Yeah, that will hit.
Thankfully, it is not a crit. Let me just get the d12 rolled. There we go. Okay, well, my damage dice are angry. My accuracy dice aren't too good, but my damage dice are definitely angry. That is going to be 18 damage as a big metal axe somehow bites into your flank. Not inflicting any lethal damage. You've been here before, but it does. You still feel the sting of metal going through your skin a little bit here.
And with my tremor sense, are they up on me, or did they throw that?
Nope, they ran up on you.
Oh, okay. Well,
As you know,
easier.
they were both guarding on each sides of the door, so if you ran up to one of them, the other one just had a couple of steps to make it to you.
That makes sense.
And they went off of the squeal of pain from their friend. Funny enough, if I rolled a nat 1, they would have hit their friend.
That would have been awesome.
Well, I mean, they can't see, right? So it is dependent on vision right now.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be 1v running.
Yeah, that's okay. We're gonna see. Maybe I will. Who knows?
Maybe she'll 1v2, who knows? All right, so yeah, Only and as I'm drawing a blank 1 second, and Kodav. I'll get there.
Please, after our rendezvous in that storage room, you forgot both of our names.
I literally just had a blank. So yes, Kodav, Only, both of your turns. What are you doing? Mibble, I don't know if you want to join the party here, or to same. You guys let me know if you guys want to hop in at some point.
He probably is going to climb down.
Yeah, I'd climb down
because-
too, just to be within range, so that I can sort of telepathically communicate
What's
with them.
going on?
And I can do anything that needs to be done.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Only go first.
I'm more
Okay.
reckless attack the one that's up on me because I don't really want to keep moving forward with him on me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a 17 for the first hit. Oh, sorry, 17 on the die for a total of 24.
That's a hit, of course.
Because he hit me and I have a berserker style, fighting style, I get to do extra damage because he hit me first.
Oh my.
But this is the other one, not the one that you first hit.
No,
No,
the one
but
that-
this is the one that
hit
hit me. That's the important
her,
part.
Yeah.
Since when I hit him with a melee weapon using strength against a creature that already dealt damage to me, I get to do extra damage.
And this is not the one that just swung at you?
Well, this is the one that swung at me because he's the one up on me.
Okay. You will also be able to have advantage on that attack roll against them.
Okay.
As the attack they did was indeed quite reckless.
No, that one's lower, so 13 kinetic damage with the first hit. And second hit. That's gonna be lower, that's a 19 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Okay. 14 kinetic damage on him.
So 13 and 14 on it, right?
Yep.
So 2 more swings of the axe, and you fight it. You feel it bite, though not as deeply as
wait.
the other guy that you hit.
Plus additional 4 because I forget the rage damage. Every time.
Okay. But yeah, at that point, then yeah, it's almost as much of a deep bite as what you got off of the first guard.
Alright. I don't have a bonus action, so that's gonna be
Okay.
Az's turn.
As
All right, cool. So I'm gonna close distance. So now I'm with melee.
yep.
I forgot to have the damage he did at me because I was raging, so I will add 9 points back into my hit points pool.
So when I use force imbuement, it says my weapon all becomes enhanced. Does that do anything special?
For force imbuement, huh?
Yeah. So I know I have the additional damage. So it does the D8. I can use my force casting ability instead of strength.
Yep.
But it also says that the weapon also becomes enhanced. I'm not sure if that's anything in particular.
I'm not 100% sure because I haven't bumped into this already, but just let me go check. But I'm pretty sure it means
Does it like means it's like a magical weapon?
I'm pretty sure exactly that it means that it's considered magical, but give me a minute.
Alright.
Rule, equipment, enhanced items. Enhanced items are scarce and powerful, leading them to rarely having a predetermined price. Buying and selling enhanced items can rarely be performed easily, often requiring extensive time and credits to find a potential buyer and seller. So yeah, it's basically the equivalent of a magical item. Or a masterworked item, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Alright, so with the tremor sense, like I know where, blob ally, blob enemy is. Can I sense their weapon, or is it just like a big blob that wants to hurt me?
What do you mean?
I don't know how definitive the tremor sense. Can I discern their weapon from the creature, or is it?
No, what you're really getting is the vibrations of their feet on the ground, so you know exactly where they're positioned. I don't think you would know like where their weapons are or any of that stuff. You could probably feel them like shifting their weight, stuff like that, if the tremor sense is precise enough, I guess. But the way I see it, it's basically an alternate form of blind sense.
Gotcha. And do I have? I don't know what their abilities are, so am I obscured from them?
Yes,
because if
you're
okay.
both. It's standard fog fighting rules. You're both obscured from each other.
Okay, cool. So I have advantage.
Well, it's more like they have disadvantage on hitting you technically, unless they're reckless, which makes it then normal. But yes.
Well, if they're attacking me, but I have tremor sense, which
yeah, so yeah, your tremor sense negates the exactly, and then you end up exactly. You got it. Yeah, 100%.
All right, so let's see, 19 plus 7, that is 26 to hit.
That
and hits. Cool. Then that's going to be 12 kinetic damage, because I get to add my spellcasting modifier to my damage.
And is that the blob that Onley was currently hitting?
No, this is the other one.
The one that she first hit.
She's hitting both of them right now.
One is against the wall. One is next to her.
I'm hitting the one she didn't throw the axe. Because that's the one I was running at.
The one right next to it moved up.
Yeah. The one she's currently in combat with.
Correct.
Then.
Which means she's still 1v1ing the other one, but...
Look, it's hard to get those 1v1 level ups.
I only got one lightsaber. I can't...
Well, she has to 1v1 one of them, because otherwise she doesn't gain a level.
No, I'd have to do the entire fight by myself. Just one character, so... It's already gone, it's fine. It's really hard to get those.
Alright, that's all I can do.
Legitimately just picks a fight at the bar. But yeah,
fight this rat.
Right. I cast Fireball on the darkness, vanquishing the darkness and getting my free level up. Yeah. I love Munchkinery. It makes me laugh sometimes. But yes, all that to say, so yeah, I use the stones to destroy. Yeah, I cast iron, picks up a frying pan, hits somebody on the head with it. We know all the classics. I got sidetracked. Sorry there, Tam. So yes, okay. you had attacked it, correct? Or was it still as attacking? I got flustered for a second.
It was as attacking.
Okay. I did 12. I did 12 kinetic to the
correct
one that didn't get crit with the axe.
It is still very much injured at this point as well. There, you can tell they're both probably very much injured at this point.
I do believe it's their go, right?
Yep.
Okay.
One sec. Good news is...
You're muted?
Oh, I was saying good news is they both swing, they both miss. All right. Sometimes
Did
the
you
dice
nat
love
one?
you. Sometimes the dice... No, there was no nat ones, but there was basically a 9 plus 7, that was a 16, which I think does not hit you, correct?
That will hit me. It meets it.
Oh, it meets it? Okay, so one of them hits you, then the other one misses completely. Oh, you're right, it's a 15
Sometimes...
I rolled earlier, not a 16.
Yep.
Okay. So, yes, that will be a slight hit. Thankfully, my dice are funny once again, as I rolled max damage. The last time I rolled a 1 on the damage this time, so that will only be 7 damage.
Which I have because of rage.
Correct.
Which makes... Round down or round up? I never remember.
I usually do round down for this stuff.
Okay.
Good news is round down. It's going to be round down for them too, for enemies too.
That's fine. Well, we're just gonna, keep going. Do I feel like, my attacks are... It's a little easier to hit this guy? Was he reckless?
Oh, that's what you're saying. I mean, the only way they can hit you here without, being
true.
at a disadvantage is having to reckless. So yes, they reckless.
Well, that's gonna be another 19 on the die.
Yay.
And since he hit me, I'm actually happy he hit me because I can keep adding my extra damage for that.
That's what we like to hear.
Which means this is gonna hit even more.
Mm-hmm.
I got 11 on the die. I didn't quite max it, but I'll take it.
Yeah, you hear...
I got a second. I want the number 43.
Jesus.
Well, not one hit, 43.
Yeah, you slice again. You feel the axe bite really deep this time too, and this time instead of a squeal of pain, you just feel the body that your axe is embedded into go limp as it hits the ground with a satisfying thud.
Then I'm just going to keep the momentum going of that axe and let it spin me around, and I'm going to let it go at the other one as I throw it at him.
Bonus action throw, alright.
Second attack. I get 2 attacks.
Reminder though, oh yes, you do have Tremor Sense, so you would be able to figure out their position. So yeah, that works.
14, which plus 7. God, I can math today. That's going to be 21.
Okay. For the record though, it's usually one action that gives you 2 attacks. So throwing would be considered a separate action, I believe, nonetheless. I don't think
Not
you're second to
for my class. My class, I can throw.
Yes, you're the yeet barbarian. I forgot. All right,
Yeah.
my bad. All right, cool. I love that.
Yeah, my attack. If I make a weapon attack, I can throw.
The yeet.
Yes, I have the yeet.
That's the for the record part. But yes, awesome. Okay, so you do throw your axe at the second guy. What did you say the dice roll was?
21.
It hits. Give me the Danny.
This guy has not hit me, so he doesn't get the extra damage. So that's going to be 16 points of kinetic damage.
Okay. So yeah, the 16 points of kinetic damage. You hear another grunt of pain, but you don't hear this time the satisfying thud of it hitting the ground, though you can hear labored breathing coming through the smoke here.
And since I still have movement left, I'm going to move up to him.
Okay.
I don't care if he gets to attack me next round because I want the attacks.
Okay, that works. Which brings us to you, Godev.
19. 19 hit.
Yes, it does hit. And easily.
14 points of kinetic damage. Roll a 7.
Yeah. Funny enough, that's the last little bit of damage that was needed, as this time the second body hits the floor.
Backup bodies hit the floor.
Backup bodies.
I was waiting for that.
Let the
And,
bodies hit the floor.
and with a faint hiss, right, the gas canister runs out of smoke. And as the smoke clears, you just see a blood-covered Only standing, next to two dead and bloodied Gamorreans on the ground. Kodav next to her, right? As they're both very much dead.
Nibble runs for the door, looks for the panel, opens it.
The door is locked. Can you hack it open, or do you want to break it open, or do you want to do something? As it does seem to be electronically locked.
I do want to try to hack it open, I guess.
Can I offer a guidance in these trying times?
So, what is that? Technology roll?
That is indeed a technology roll, please.
That's going to be.
With guidance, if you would like it. So an
Yeah,
extra
we-
d6.
So that's going to be 31.
So yeah, you hack through that faster than a hot vibro knife through bantha butter here. The door does open with a hiss, and what lays beyond it, we'll have to wait, as we are going to go on break for 5 minutes.
Woohoo!
And I will catch you all very shortly for the follow-up to this.
Alright.
Give me 1 second to put us on break. There we go. dokie, we are back.
Look, everyone stay silent so the DM thinks we didn't unmute us.
Absolutely, always. My favorite prank in the whole world. So, you had all just opened a door.
Yep. And you're about to tell us what's behind it.
Correct.
That's it.
If I feel like it.
Oh.
Fortunately for everybody in the stream, I don't feel like it. So I'm not going to tell you what's behind it. I'm just kidding.
Oh, well, alright, I'll
That's
see you later.
behind door number 1. I mean, what's behind door number 2? Where's door number 1? There was no door number 1. Don't worry about it.
Dorm
So-
number 1 didn't make it past production.
Right. So, that being said, what you guys see behind the door, I will actually describe in images rather than words, though the words will be given. As the door open, behind it what you see is a rough-hewn tunnel directly into the rock under the temple. And as you enter it, you see bioluminescence mushrooms growing out of the floor and out of some of the rocks. You see plants growing. You see what essentially looks like a whole biodiverse ecosystem here under the ground. And I will transport you guys over so you can see it for yourselves.
Exciting.
Also, after we all get in, I close the door and I cast lock on it.
Okay.
I like it.
Is there a station or something on the inside of the door that you'd use to open it?
There is. There is an
Well, I
access
looked at it
door.
and we'll go, do we need that anymore?
I just cast lock on it, so
Yes, but are
They
we going to
can't-
need... Do you think
they
we need
got-
the
they got
access point
brain dead.
anymore? Or we find another way out of here?
I say we keep our options open just in case. But I do have lock cast on the door. That way, they can't open it. They have to break through the door in order to get through.
That works.
Okay. So yes. We were talking about bioluminescence.
We can't hear you on the stream.
1 2 1 2. Testing.
Get closer.
How about now? Better?
Is that the better stream? You hear him now.
Sorry about that. Let me check this one more time. All
Yeah,
right.
that's
Thank you
better.
guys. Appreciate you. Sorry, I was trying to eat a little bit and trying not to have munching sounds on the mic. Clearly, I have to choose one. Eating will have to wait. That being said, yeah. So as I was saying, there is again a whole diverse ecosystem there. And yeah, let me switch it over to the map so you guys can actually see what it looks like. Here's the button. Thank you for bearing with me, by the way. I am not used to doing this. There we go. And let me center it just to make sure you guys are seeing this properly. There we go. And I realize there's not much point to the fog of war because you guys can see everything on the stream anyway, so we're going to reveal the areas. There we go. Okay. So as you see, nice big cavern for you all to explore.
Still on the map with the river.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are.
Still
we're on
next to
river
the
map.
catfish.
There you go. Solved it.
Yay!
I no longer see a catfish. We're good.
Yeah, sorry. Multitasking and me are not the best friends in the world, obviously.
Why'd you do the poor multitasking?
No, I'm just not good at multitasking. I'm bad at
I
it.
know.
But yes. So this is where you guys are right now. Let me know if the sound output is okay, and if you start hearing the fan in the background, I will fix it.
I like this map.
So yes.
Really nice map.
That's a nice map.
Well, Ollie doesn't mind taking points unless someone else really wants to.
I'll take a point alongside you.
Alright, so the two of us, Orta and I, will lead the group as we start heading down deeper into the tunnel. Trying to find our way to this.
Lightsaber is in my hand, but not active.
Maybe it will constantly keep an ear out from behind, make sure that he doesn't hear people following should they break through the door.
Real quick, also, quick question. Do I still feel like a connection to the building? Like the one that I was feeling earlier?
No, you cannot. Here, you're outside of the radius of the building at this point.
Okay.
As
Okay,
we move forward,
wanted to
I'll,
be sure.
well, we're still looking around and all that stuff. I'm also paying attention to my trigger sense to see if it's picking up anything as we move too. I'm using all my senses.
And I'm using my dark vision.
Well, the place is
Good,
lit
'cause
up
I
by
can't see.
illumination mushrooms or such. So.
No, but we want to use our special eyes. Just kidding.
All right, lead the way.
Okay.
I mean,
So as you guys progress... No, keep going, don't worry, there's no traps or anything. As you guys progress...
I'm also checking for traps.
Right.
I have a 10-foot
Now it
stick
says it.
and everything.
And they just need to check for traps. Well, at least
Only
I'm
will-
scared of traps. Just kidding.
Right.
Only will activate the traps. It doesn't matter.
I will check for traps the barbarian way. Lay down and roll across the floor, see if I can activate them all at once. Just kidding.
But as you make it past the initial corner, and you get right here, you will see a pair of Ratix guards standing there.
The buggos, right?
Correct. The natives of Typhera.
We're just gonna be looking at Orta because he's the one I communicated with him last time.
And they do stare at you and click their mandibles.
I'll telepathically reach out. Like they already see us and everything, and they're not attacking.
No, they're not attacking on sight.
Okay. Orto will telepathically reach out and just say, "We are here on behalf of your." Did I understand the concept that like there was a hive mind in play here?
Yeah.
I did. Okay, it's been a while, so I wasn't sure. We are here on behalf of your hive mind, for lack of a better term, to take care of the issue at hand.
So, when you say that, the two of them kind of look at each other and step out of the way, allowing you further access into the hive.
Okay. I give a small bow and just lead the way.
Okay. So, as you keep progressing, you get to this next part over here.
Checking for traps the whole way, obviously, with a 10-foot stick.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling on the ground, trying to activate every one of them.
Nope.
And here you see the path branch off, right? And what you guys see to your left, which is the uppermost path on the map here, is it brings you to the actual, like, community area for the Vratics, right? And here, you actually get to finally see how the Bacta is made. And it's made by the bugs themselves.
Is it poo?
No, I'll reassure you, it's not poo. And every
Is
time
back
they...
to people. Sorry, I'll stop now.
Now they ate the plant, they chewed it up, and then they shat it out, and that's what Bacta's made out of. It's like those monkeys that eat the coffee beans.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
make
the
coffee?
fancy coffee.
Yeah.
The lemur poo-poo.
Yeah. It's a real thing. Sorry, Tilt.
You can't see me right now, but I am facepalming.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Our job here is done.
And since I'm done eating, I will bring the camera back so you guys can see me actually faceplanting. Or should I say facepalming, but you know, close enough.
Indifference.
So, there we go. Let me just adjust that real quick. A little lower. There we go. Okay, we're back. I'm fully functional. So,
Are we? Fully functional feels like a stretch.
fully functional by my standard, which means, you know, still about half function, but we'll take it. That being said, yes, so you see the communal area where they're actually making the Bacta, and you can see that every time they do produce a certain amount of Bacta, you can see their antennae just, how do I say it, tremble every time they make it. And you can see their eyes gloss, their multifaceted eyes just gloss over every time they produce the Bacta.
So they're getting a sort of like a high off of producing the Bacta.
Give me a medicine check and I'll tell you.
Can it be an insight check to get the vibe of them getting high?
Sure. I mean, that you can already kind of tell just from looking at them.
Okay, I'll do the medicine.
The medicine check is really more if you want the explanation as to why.
That's a 13. Don't worry about it.
So yeah,
It was a passing interest.
beyond the obvious, yes, it seems that
They're zoinked right now.
producing the Bacta seems to be what actually gets them high/addicted.
Okay.
Which does seem to be somewhat of a discrepancy to what that hive mind representative told you guys back up on the station.
What did they say exactly?
Well, I don't know if you remember, but I did mention they said that, you know, the drug was in the water or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This looks real
Hence why you
odd
guys were looking
water
for the
processing.
quote-unquote water for purification.
It was a poison being entered into the water supply.
Yes, that's what I remember now. Orta's gonna reach out to Mibble telepathically and ask if they have any sort of way to test the toxicity of water.
Do I?
Well, funny enough, there's not much water here to be seen.
Well, we haven't gone down the path yet, so I'm not sure.
No, but like I'm saying, this entire big chunk on the right here is really the communal area.
Yeah.
But
What's down the
We're gonna
left
have to
is
go
here.
down the other path.
yes, the small path on the right seems to be the one
the
where,
water.
if you pay attention, you can hear the flowing sound of water crashing
Yes.
coming from that tunnel. That is indeed where we're gonna go, as I will transition you guys over to it in 1 second.
But does Mibble have a way to test toxicity in water?
I would say sure.
Okay.
I mean, you're a techie, right? I'm sure you've got...
Plus, you were the janitor. You probably had to make sure that water wasn't, filled with poison.
Correct.
Sometimes.
Well, now
Well,
I'm thinking
maintenance
about
person.
it.
Yeah.
We went swimming in that water that was supposedly poisoned.
Well, no, I feel like what they said was like it was like some sort of poison that specifically made them sort of subservient.
There we
Oh, that's not good.
I'm getting the sense that Marcel pooed in the shoe.
Food in the back to? I'll stop now. Maybe.
Oh, he's just tucked away in the corner over there. No need to worry
go. What? Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Now-
I thought I was disconnecting again. I'm like, come on, guys.
I will state the first thing I heard after changing maps was what?
Yeah.
No, we have not dropped to the next map yet. We are still in transition. That's why. Give me 2 seconds and we'll be good to
Who's
go.
gonna tell him?
As
What?
oh, you're here. Okay, cool. Your camera did the thing where it stops moving for a sec, so I didn't know if you were still with us. Yep, you're good now. And I will transition you guys over as you can see the map. There we go. And we're going to let everybody else see the map now. There we go. So. Yep, you guys get to the big room. And typical of the big room, and I mean, you guys already saw the token and it's not hidden because this thing is literally in the middle of the room, is this massive, monstrous insectoid that is standing right there in the middle of the room. Now, your tokens will also get pasted. Thank you. There we go. Right here
Slurm
at the
Queen.
entrance. Yeah, pretty much. There we go. Yeah, you guys do see this massive monstrosity of a Vratix. It's got more legs. It's got 2 giant sides on top of its normal, spindly arms. This entire thing seems to be made both to fight and to I don't want to say reproduce, but lay eggs. Behind it,
Queen.
it's a queen, and behind it,
Go to the storage room?
Hmm?
To go to the storage room? It's been made to go to the storage room?
Right? Yeah, exactly. God damn it, storage room jokes. It's gonna become a thing, isn't it? Behind it, though, what you do see is this massive amount of water that's being shot out of a giant pipe with, yes, next to it, what looks like a bunch of computers and scientific equipment of some kind. You see giant containers and vats that are doing something to the water. And this massive, again, behemoth of an insectoid is just parked in front of it.
What the?
Yeah. Orta is going to step forward and, hold on. I remember what happened last time. I just need to do a slight bit of prep if I have any way to prep. I'm just double checking if I have any way to sort of bolster my wisdom saves.
Guidance.
It says only ability checks for guidance, so I'm not sure.
Oh.
Oh well. As the kids say, F it, we ball. Orta is gonna approach and reach out telepathically at that and say, "Is this where your water is being poisoned?"
As you reach out telepathically to this thing and you say, "Is this where the water is being poisoned?" you just hear a low rumble.
An aggressive rumble? Hungry rumble? What are we looking at here?
Let's get ready to rumble.
It's not aggressive or hungry. It's just, you know, if an entity is so massive and it's walking, it feels like an earthquake. This is the mental equivalent of that. You're looking at
the center of a hive mind.
Kind of. Or at least what should be the center of a hive mind, but you don't hear the hundreds of voices, just one very loud voice.
That's very different.
Indeed.
And it's not aggressive yet, I'm assuming?
No, it's more inquisitive. It's the equivalent of it asking, "Who are you?"
The rest of your hive sent me and my allies here to help you break free from the sort of shackles placed upon you.
We don't need help. Leave.
Your voice comes through quite lonely compared to what I've heard previously.
There's a bit of a delay. Almost like it's trying to wrap its head around the concept of lonely. And in that one voice, it still answers, "We are Vratics. We are one."
Am I getting an inkling of more voices in what I'm hearing?
Nope, it's still that one voice.
I'm sorry to say, but I think you are being fooled currently. What I am hearing is not a we, but a you.
When you say that, it bristles. Those keratin spikes on its back just kind of oscillating, almost like there's a wind in the room. It opens a maw, mandibles dripping with poison. As this time the hiss it lets out is definitely more aggressive. And it says, "We are the heretics." Kidro, I'm getting a little bit of feedback from your mic.
It's probably my air conditioner. Is that better?
Yep.
Hmm. There's only one thing I can sort of think to try at this point. I don't know how it'll work out. I'm going to telepathically reach out to the rest of the party and basically say, trust me, but have my back.
Nibble knob nods.
As Orta turns back to the the lonely queen, and Orta says, I did not mean to offend, and I apologize. But if you will allow me, could I please try something to help you?
Give me
I
a
mean, no
persuasion.
harm.
Yep, give me a persuasion check.
And Orta is going, as he says this, he's going to, like, put his lightsaber on the ground. He's going to put his pack on the ground. Everything that could be seen as a weapon, he puts on the ground. And then he sort of has his hands raised as he approaches to show as little threat as possible. And we will see how well this persuasion goes. I'm giving myself guidance on this. Guidance or... Yeah, guidance. $11 plus 6, 17, 19 total. 19 total. After disarming myself entirely.
So, it hisses and bristles again, but you see it lower its stance as you approach.
So, no objection and nothing sort of to...
Well, sort of a mixed signal kind of thing. Like I said, it does bristle, but it lowers its scythe-like forearms, and then lowers its frame down a little bit.
Orta will then slowly approach, and as he approaches, he will explain, I am going to attempt to use powers from the light side of the Force to help in clearing your mind. I will need to be able to touch you for this, so I will be putting one of my hands onto one of your mandibles to do so. And as he's approaching, and once he finishes explaining all that, he will say, is this alright?
As you do come forward and approach it, right?
Yes.
You see it kind of look down at you with this long gaze of a creature who's probably been around a lot longer than you have.
Yeah.
And it kind of tilts its head to the side for a second. And what you just hear is that same booming, unique voice in your head saying, and I have to roll a dice for this, give me 1 second. That'd be alright. And that voice does say, as this is how it interprets what you just said, because the Force doesn't mean anything to it. It does say, And you understand this from the fact that you are now currently talking with it
Yes.
telekinetically, not kinetically, telepathically. Sorry.
Yeah.
And
Telekinetically is like
yeah, it's this
forceful
moving
sign
stuff.
language.
Yeah. But yeah, telepathically with it, and it says something that very loosely translates to your mind as it is, or at least it seems to be interpreting your request as almost like a request to join its hive mind. Because for it, again, you want to interact with them. You have to be part of the system. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And you see it cup its two very much humanoid-looking hands, right, under its mandibles, where it, for a lack of better terminology, secretes out of its mouth, a glob of green-looking ichor.
Is this the only way I will be able to help you?
It kind of looks at you and, again, tilts its head to the side, more intrigued than anything else. And you hear once more that booming voice in your head saying, "It's what you requested."
Orta is going to finish his approach, and as he stands there, he is gonna say something along the lines, hopefully more eloquently, of if you will just allow me to hold onto this particular form's hands for just a moment. That is all that I need to be able to help. I'm trying to think of better words for it than help, but that's all I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's hard to translate.
Give me another quick persuasion roll.
Once again with guidance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the jail. Incredibly unfortunate.
Don't tell me you
That
rolled
was
a
a
nat
nat
one here.
one.
Oh, god damn it.
Can I just roll decently?
I mean, you rolled decently
like,
with
I
19 before, but yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, nat 1 with a 6 total.
Okay. It bristles once more, and you can get the direct feeling of flat-out refusal from its mind. And the clear impression, as you see two visions in your head, one with you drinking the ichor, and the other one with her impaling you with her sharp, scythe-like appendages.
Oh, I guess I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I'm drinking that mind meld Kool-Aid.
Okay.
Yeah, Orta sort of takes off like the gas mask that he normally wears to hide his rather delicate jaw, if we're being real.
Mm-hmm.
To drink the ichor.
As you do so, you hear that voice saying, "Ah, well, it seems like you are the one in need of fixing." As you see visions of it noticing your clear lack of mandibles.
Sensitive about it.
I know, sorry about that, but it's an insect and it doesn't care about your usual standards. Or your feelings for that matter, but yeah. And as you drink the proverbial, like you said, green Kool-Aid here, it feels like 1,000 pin needles are being stabbed over every square inch of your skin.
Ooh. Tingly.
And after that, it just feels like, for lack of a better term,
The same?
it feels like something else is intruding into your mind right now with the delicacy and the subtlety of an FBI squad breaking down your door and getting into your house.
You've been struck by truck.
Pretty much. And so this is not a pleasant process. I need you to give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Uh-huh. Let's see which Constitution save. Well, I have a guaranteed. Well, oh yeah, I have my aura, so that will help. Can I not roll a 3 on this check and get a 12 total?
Thankfully, that's enough.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. You do feel, however, exhausted, and you will be gaining 1 level of slow. But on the flip side of that level of exhaustion, however, there are no lasting physical damage. You'll just probably need a good night's rest.
Okay.
What this has gained you, though, is when you speak into its mind, you hear your voice and its voice speaking at the same time.
Okay.
You are connected.
Can
Not
you hear
just
what I...
not just really connected. When one of you speaks, both of you speak.
Can you hear what I'm hearing now? Can you hear my perspective?
And when you hear when it hears your perspective and you hear its perspective, or should I say when you both hear each other's perspective, you realize one thing. It's not the problem.
Uh-huh. So what's the problem?
And you realize one thing. Why would a queen be alone in a room without any of its brood?
Yes, I was thinking that was wrong this entire time.
Mm-hmm. Why would it be that when it speaks, you only hear its voice?
I've been saying that that's wrong the entire time, yes.
And so...
I was just catching up with
Sorry,
Claire.
so somebody tried to force choke me. I got it.
My bad.
I
Sorry.
suspect either
I started
you
to
or
get tired of your
Zoro.
shit.
But yes, you're funny. But yes, and both your and its voice now speaks in your head, as you both say, they stole it from us. They stole them from us.
They have your queen.
No.
No? They stole the voice?
We are the Vratics. They stole my brood.
Oh. So it really is that you have been disconnected from your people. Or rather, your people have been disconnected from you.
Our previous herald told you. The back-to-making process, it makes them addicted. They no longer hear the voice.
We were told slightly different. We were told that the water was poisoned and made them and was drugged to make that happen.
The queen shakes her head, goes back to the water, and puts her head in it, literally swallows it, turns back to you, and sits back in her nest looking at you. And you can feel from your bond with her head, or her mind, I guess you should say, or your common mind at this point, that she's having zero effects from drinking that water.
So your brood really has been stolen and was trying to trick us into poisoning you, presumably.
Into poisoning us, corrects the voice, but yes.
I'm not used to thinking in these terms. Please give me some time.
I'm not used to. I'm kidding.
True. Our bad.
It's like a mom, just like slapping you on the wrist, going, "No, bad. That's not how you say it."
I just don't want you to look foolish.
And here, I think we can get the map out of here, since for now, combat has been avoided. The map does not serve much of a purpose anymore, which means I can now monitor the stream again. I need more screens, guys. I apologize for any and all headaches involving this.
Order looking for foolish went out the window a while ago. We did that earlier.
Oh. Well. So it's just the back-to-making process that makes us lose our connection.
You hear her nod, and your common voice once more says, "Yes, it dulls us to the voice. That plant comes from the surface. Only we can process it. But it gives us, well,
Must produce some sort of chemical.
it does.
It weakens the mind.
It makes the voice go away." And now that whole blank look, in the drone's eyes, the antennae that were, vibrating every time they produced the back to it all makes kind of sense at this point. Obviously, it did earlier for you guys, the players, but you get the idea that this back-to-making process is highly addictive. It's not about poison in the water. It's
a drug.
It's the drug.
Just a drug.
Unfortunately.
Can I try and use medicine to see if I can figure out if there's a way to neutralize the effect of the drug?
And I'll sort of also, like, if Kodav is approaching,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, he is a doctor skilled in medicine who can help us. if you will allow us some samples to work with.
I mean, the voice literally, again, in both of your melded voice says, we understand it, we trust it.
Okay.
And...
Again, used to thinking in these terms.
No, you're
addition
fine,
to
you're
what
fine,
know
don't
and
worry.
I
I know, don't worry about it. It takes a while to adjust.
Check out that computer that's behind her as well.
And, yep, no problem. And so just to answer Az first, Azrind, when you mention wanting to use medicine, go please do so. Roll me that medicine check, let's see.
Do you want to force enlightenment? So you get an advantage on that? Since I know you got guidance already?
Sure. I'll do that.
Okay. I'll give you wisdom, so you get advantage on wisdom checks.
Two 14s. So for 23.
Okay. So from what you've by now gathered of Ratic's physiology, you understand that the back-to-making process, the addictive property of the back-to-making process, it's not because of the Bacta itself. It's how their physiology reacts to the manufacturing process that actually generates the chemical that causes the reaction. Long story short, it's not the Bacta that's the drug, it's their body that reacts in an addictive way to the Bacta-making process. It is part of their physiology as a species.
So it's a natural evolution.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's an evolution, because it's not a good thing to have for their species, but yes, it's definitely a natural property of their physiology.
Can I make something like an enzyme, some sort of chemical to counteract this?
Yeah, like something to like sort of like block the receivers.
That would that would probably require equipment that you don't have on hand here.
Fudge.
Because that becomes very specialized at this point. Mibble, do you head towards those computers?
Mm-hmm. I want to see what they're all about.
Okay. And while they're doing that, Only, what are you doing?
There's no one to hit with my axe. I don't know.
Don't worry. You won't have to wait too long. Mibble, so you're going to check those computers, right?
Yes.
Okay. When you do so, you can see the countenance of the queen shift as those spikes on its back once again bristle, bordering on menacingly.
Pauses.
Is this all right to us?
And the voice says something along the lines of, nobody approaches the machines. But Mibble, from that distance, you can tell that that's Rakatan Tech again.
Great.
Can I force connect with that Rakaton tech?
Give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check, you got it. Like a spell casting?
Nope, just flat out wisdom.
Just flat out wisdom?
D20 plus your wisdom bonus.
Well, it's not a 1, but it's like got the extra line, so it's a total of 10, because it's a 7.
You want to
like
you want to go and like connect with it, but the other half now of your mind says something along the lines of, nobody touches the machines.
Well, I know what Only will do. I'll keep a lookout.
I mean, you can force it. This is not me telling you don't do it at all, Orta, but it does
we just
brain. It does send you a warning.
We just sort of established this
Mhm.
sort of connection. I don't want to push it right now, especially when we're still trying to help
Mhm.
her. Help us.
Mhm.
Is
Okay.
there like a precarious like rock above the machine?
I mean,
wouldn't tempt it.
probably a couple of stalactites at the top of the cavern. Yes.
So I'm gonna basically just in my mind talk to Orta and go like, what happens if we destroy that machine? But we don't destroy the machine. It has an accident.
When, when you say that, Kodav, you see
You're not
this.
destroying the machine.
This is all mental.
Yep.
Talking out loud.
Yeah.
I'm connected to the hive mind.
They share a mind at this point. So what he hears, she hears.
Oh.
You see the spines
Yeah.
on it bristle. The mandibles come out. Venom starts to drip from the mandibles, and it does slam
Oops.
those two scythe-like appendages into the ground, letting out a insectoid hissing roar in your general direction, Kodav.
We are not destroying anything. We came here to protect, restore, and keep safe.
Speaking of protect, restore, and keep safe.
Some might say secure, contain, protect. Anyway.
I've heard this somewhere before. But yes, as you have that moment, right?
Yes.
You hear sounds coming from the tunnel.
I have no doubt
Oh,
we
crap.
are having company.
We have no doubt,
Idiot.
indeed. As the one brain cell continues, but
Oh no,
yeah.
I've joined the one brain cell!
Yes, you join the one brain cell as it does indeed hiss, and it says they are coming.
We can hit them, right? That's not a problem.
We must not let them near the machine.
We can hit them, yes.
Just get a grin from Onley as she pulls out her axe, getting ready.
However, there are things that I'm going to try as well that may turn the tides even a little bit in our favor. We'll see how it works. I bet also Orta's like running over, grabbing all of his stuff, and standing at the doorway, hands at the ready, to be thrown.
Very good. Now,
Yeah, nipples in the back somewhere.
doing little things, sneaking back towards the machine now that everybody's focused on the door. I see what you're doing. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think at this point the battle will not be resolved in half an hour.
No.
What say you guys that we
maybe not.
potentially stop here for tonight? I know it's only been 3 hours and not the whole 4 hours, but or should I say 3.5 hours? Because we usually try to end around 10:30, right? Or is it 11:30? I'm not used to converting to PST right now. 11:30.
But
Yeah.
we're only half an hour off.
11:30.
Yeah. And again, this fight won't be resolved in half an hour, so I think if anything, everybody's gonna have to wait till next week to see what comes through the door. I think
Oh,
we're gonna.
boy.
I think we're gonna have to cliffhanger it here, unfortunately.
Yay.
Personally, I'd love to keep going, but work in the morning, kiddos, blah blah blah.
I have work
Life.
tomorrow.
Life, adulting, full day at work, and
Goddamn adulting.
yep. So
Honestly,
I think
can we just quit with the adulting?
I ask
One of
myself
us
that
has-
same
one of
question
us-
every single day,
One of us has to win the Powerball.
right?
Understandable, yeah.
Get on it.
For the Mega
We all
Millions.
know how lucky I am with my dice rolls, so it's not me.
All right.
That being said, indeed.
Indeed.
As I said, we'll have to wait till next week to see what comes through the door. But you guys will not have to wait till next week to get more fun out of this channel, as we do have a bunch of other shows that you guys can enjoy in the meantime. As you can see from the chat, we have Destiny Forged on Mondays. We do have on Tuesdays, as you guys saw today, Star Wars Tales of the Outer Rim. Alternating on Tuesdays, we've got Tricorn Isles, which is our pirate D&D show, and then Mass Effect Horizons, run by Zorro. Obviously, Destiny Forge and Tricorn Isles require no introduction. That's Rojan who runs those. And then on Saturdays, alternating, we've got Wither's Wastes and Wayward Wanderers, which are run both by Rojan and by Azrin here. And then again, don't forget...
Wayward Wanderers returns this Saturday.
Oh, nice. Awesome. Yes, we've been waiting for that. I'm super happy to hear that it's coming back on Saturday. And yeah, so that's
Don't forget
Yep.
to join us on Friday for a brand new game going to be run by Sugarlove.
Right. It's not even on the
Our
bottom.
first time DMing. We're excited for it.
You're right.
Under the mountain.
Under the mountain.
Yep.
Kids on broom system. It's
Yep.
gonna be fun.
And also this Saturday
Yes.
is going in the evening. Our would-be heroes.
Correct.
Yes, our mutants.
Yep. There would be heroes, kids on brooms.
It'll either be the penultimate or final episode of that one shot.
Yep. Which also
Don't remind
means
me.
that not coming this Saturday, but then the following Saturday is also the lore show, Behold Lore. So if you want to know more about the universe of Behold Roleplay, well, or the various universes from Behold Roleplay, that's the one you guys want to tune into as well. I believe that covers all of it. So thank you again very, very much for tuning in. I had a blast running this for you guys. Sorry again for the technical difficulties. I will get better at streaming one day, I do promise, but today was not that day. But again, on my way, working hard for it. We'll get there someday soon. I just hope you guys had fun for today. I wish you all an excellent evening, and I'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm waving.
Take care, guys.
We'll see you next week.